I assume that you clicked on this YouTube video because you like to make Geometry Dash levels. I also like to make Geometry Dash levels, and I'm also a really big sucker for the parallax effect. Now, I found a very easy way to do this. With only 2 triggers involved, you can be very lazy with it. It's a pretty hands-off approach, and when it comes to the editor, speed is the most important thing. Those creator points aren't going to grind themselves. So I'm going to show everyone how to make this effect today, and I haven't seen many YouTube videos explaining how to do it, so I hope to fill that gap right now. We're going to start with some gameplay, of course, and I'm going to go pretty crazy with the gameplay, as you can see. And you know what? I feel absolutely insane. So we're going to add a second structure right over here. That's right. So we now have some pretty impressive gameplay here. We're going to add the parallax effect right now. And I'm going to be using, you know what? I'm going to use these blocks here. We're going to add a little backdrop behind this gameplay here. And this is going to be the part that is parallaxed. So let's fill this in here. And change the color to be a bit more soothing on the eyes. So now, here is our gameplay, and here's our backdrop. Unfortunately, it's pretty static right now. The whole point of this tutorial is to make this not static, so let's make it not static. The first trigger that we're going to be using is a move trigger. We're going to set all the blocks that we want to be parallaxed onto a group, and we're going to set this group to be the target of the move trigger. We're going to set the X and Y to follow the camera, and we're going to make the modifiers for both very small. When I say very small, I mean very small, like 0.025 should do us just well. Now, we also need to increase the move time to however long the section is going to be. To me, this is looking like about 999 seconds of gameplay. So we are going to put that in the text box here. So we are now going to see our gameplay move, or we're going to see the backdrop, the parallax move. However, it's not exactly moving the way we want. So let's select this block here, for example, and we're going to change the color of it. So right now, it's kind of starting, let's see, I'll use a spike as an arrow. It's kind of starting like right here. Why is it gray? I set it to red, no? Anyways, it's starting about here, or it ends about here with the gameplay. If I end the playback, you can see it moved a lot. Oh, now it's red, that's cool. So this might not seem like a big deal, but when it comes to decorating, it is a very big deal because stuff gets to get messy very quick. And if we can just leave this like this and alter these blocks while not moving them, that would be incredible. Because back in the day in 2.1, before the scale trigger, which is the next trigger we'll be using, we had to manually resize these, unless there was a better way to do it and I'm crazy. But we had to manually resize these and move them to the left or however. And that isn't fun because you had to manually do all of it. And like I said, we want to be fast. We want to save our brain power for creativity. So with the scale trigger, we can solve that. So we're going to place the scale trigger down. We're going to set the target group to the same group as the parallax. And unlike the move trigger where this is just above 0, we're going to set these scale numbers to just under 1. So I'm thinking 0.975 would do just well. And this is going to shrink down the blocks by only a tiny bit. And we're also going to add the center group because every scale trigger needs a center group. For our center group, we're going to be using really anything. I think it'll be best demonstrated with a guide trigger. So I'm going to put that here. Now the guide trigger you want to put near the start of whatever section of gameplay. You go after a transition and oh my goodness, it's a new section. We're going to put that right at the start of the new section, right? And we are going to give this a new group. So group 2 for me. And this will be the center. So what this is going to do is basically scale the parallax down around this guide center. And you can see if I scale it down a little bit, these blocks that are closer to the guide are going to move less than these blocks. I don't know if it's you can see how these are moving less. These blocks are moving less than the ones on the right. So that's good. That's exactly what we want. Now, when we go to play, actually we can't play yet. We need to adjust the duration to 0 because we want this to happen instantly. And now we should be good. Unless I screwed something up. But that's basically going to shrink it down, shrink the gameplay down, and do all the hard work for us. So as you can see now, the parallax is working. It's a pretty slow parallax. But I'm also going to do the same test we did earlier. I'm going to give this guy number 1, this red block number 1. Or sorry, I'm going to give this parallax block the color 1. And you can see kind of where it starts. Let's see where it ends now, because it used to end I had to nerf my own gameplay of just blocks. It used to end pretty far off to the side. Now it ends right on top of this block. And that's exactly what we want. So now all the hard work is done for us. And we have the parallax effect. Now you can adjust these numbers however you please, really. For example, if I change these now to 0.5 and the scale to 9.5, this should make it look like the parallax is further away, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can kind of get the idea there. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole tutorial. Like I said, only 2 triggers, and you don't have to do any weird moving stuff. I call this a win. I don't know why this took me so long to figure out, but I finally did, and I wanted to share that with everyone else. Now, I feel like Geometry Dash tutorials on YouTube are kind of a dying breed, and I think we should bring them back. So if you guys want to see more of this stuff, I make a lot of levels, and I have a lot of little tidbits, tricks, tips, and stuff that I've picked up over the past couple months, years creating, and I would be more than willing to share them with you. So if you guys want to see stuff like that, let me know. If not, maybe I'll see you again, maybe I won't. Thanks for watching, guys.